We're back today talking about success and what true success is. Now, many people I work with will have voices coming from other people saying, you've got to go for the money. That's the thing. You just have to look for the money, follow the money, and you'll find success. But the truth is, for those of you who know me, those of you who work with me, those of you who are looking to succeed in your business, often if that's the first thing you look for, there's a disconnect and you find yourself not finding your dream, not following your heart, not finding the success that really means something to you. So today, I've invited Craig Young along, who has a fascinating insight into this whole area. So thank you very much, first of all, Craig, for coming along.
Oh, thanks, Andrew. I'm so glad to be here. Passionately love speaking about this. I love it.
But I could tell that, and I'm sure the listeners will too. So first of all, what does success mean to you?
Well, we just sort of touched a bit on that. Success is a really hard thing to gauge and to monitor. It can be as simple as getting up in the morning. It could be as simple as a financial goal. But to me, it's holistic. So what happens is when you can that moment when you can connect with your true self and you sort of step out from those limiting beliefs, I think that's the first sign of success, where you can actually just be your own personal power. You are content with who you are and you are happy with who you are, and you can move forward in life for who you are. You don't have to be something else. I think that's the first level of it. So it's not just about your business targets or achieving the external goals. It's really just being deeply aligned with yourself and being authentic. And that is success. And from there, success follows in every labeling and every model that you want. It naturally attracts to it.
So would you say that when we're talking about somebody believing in you, that the most important person that needs to believe in you is yourself?
Absolutely, your first self. You should never have to go externally for validation or for power. Otherwise, you're really just flipping it to be powerless. You're giving that control to someone else. So one of the first things to really learn is to listen to yourself, to find out where that doesn't allow you to flow, and then work on that and actually find yourself. Be authentic. If you have a bad day and if you're running at 30%, turn up at 100% of that 30. And that's the key to it, when you can be yourself and it's not having to be influenced by something else. And it makes you a powerful person, but humble as well. You don't have to be that smartest person in the room. You don't have to be the most liked person. You just have to be you. And if people don't like that, that's on them. And that's the key takeaway. You be you. And if you come from your heart, that's what you do. And most people in life, and there'd be very few that wouldn't be able to do it, if they come from their heart, they are genuinely very, very, very good people. And they're great people to follow. They're great people to associate with. It's just, they inspire you to be better just by you wanting to be better. And that's the ecosystem that builds. And that is such a powerful place to work. Leaders become great. People become great. The whole world becomes better. You don't have to force it anymore. You just be it.
Just be it. I like that. Yeah, you're speaking.
It's so simple, but simple's not easy. There's work that needs to be done.
So there's work that needs to be done. So what about your clients then? What kind of work do you do with them? What kind of success do you bring for them?
Generally, how we measure success for them is basically exactly what we just said. So we see that in them and they see it and they tell us. So that's when they can say it, and people, when they come to us and say that, oh, my wife's saying this, or my business colleagues saying this, or my children are doing this with me now, that's success for us, as in from our work point of view. So we're actually seeing them notice their change. Otherwise, we can just sit here all day and run through a process and say, yeah, well, there's your success, see you later. You know what I mean? Here's your certificate. But it doesn't work like that. It's really got to be seen. And when you go to you start cleaning up or healing some of your, I call it past wounds, okay, which is to get you to the heart, because the heart works in mysterious ways. What we find is the clients they get more fulfillment in life. They have more balance in life. They understand the clear difference between work and home. They understand to be present with someone when they're actually with them instead of on the phone, or I might be talking to you, Angela, and yet I'm over there concentrating on something. It's just be present and be in the moment. And that's where the success starts to come. And from there, it just oozes out in all aspects. So generally, but the general rule of thumb is they get a better business out of it. They become a better leader, and they get better people around them in their business. So they lead better is what happens. And that's generally a very quick resolve to see results. It's a long journey, but you see results quickly.
Mm.
Because as soon as you move from like love, peace, joy, or I should say, when you go away from the deficit side of it, where like the limiting beliefs are there, or you might get angry easily, or you do whatever traits you have is generally we call that a deficit. So if you can flip it from negativity to a default of positivity, which is where our work is on the inner growth side, what happens is your default is going to propel yourself forward in a positive way. So that's what you portray. And then it's a choice in how you react from there. But when you're caught in it and you don't know why you're reacting in a negative way, it's very hard to pull out a negative sometimes because you've already reacted. So that's the true benefit you see in people. Their whole mindset changes. And then we jump on the mindset game. So you really can't, in our professional belief, you need to work with yourself and heal yourself first, and then you worry about the mindset. Because this thing will tell you whatever you want, whatever you feed it is what it'll work on.
Yes.
But how you feel, well, that's where the truth is.
Yes.
You can't hide from that. Your body doesn't hide from it. It tells you. So you must become a very good listener. And most people will always tell you they're a great listener, yet they're not. Or they may listen to, like I said, I may have said this earlier, where with the hand, heart, head, what they'll do is they'll extract that information out of the head for the information they want, and then they're elsewhere. So they're not listening. It was a means to an end.
Yes.
Whereas if you come from the heart, you generally will sit with that person. You'll find time and you'll find space. And true empathy comes in. True compassion comes in. Not just generally like on the empathy side is we all have it. We all say it's inside us. Yet it's normally only when it's close to people is when that true empathy is there. And then if we see something happen from afar that's not us, the empathy is sort of out of it. You know what I mean? It's like we're not attached to it. Where when you self-develop yourself and you become successful in that measurement, well, empathy oozes through. So you can actually sit with people. You don't have to be them. You don't feel what they're feeling, but you can be with them. And when you can do that, your world opens up. You're in a serving world. You're in a beautiful state of flow at that point.
Yes.
That's my
I think,
on it.
I know, I think you've hit something really, one of my deepest beliefs there about listening is it's very much, I was asked the question really, are you listening until there's a gap for you to speak? Or are you listening because you truly want to hear and understand what the person is saying? And there's a massive difference. And you can always tell the difference when the person jumps in. They were just waiting for a gap. They weren't really interested. You did a sort of a look away. There's nothing worse than somebody asking you a question and then look over here like that. While you're trying to answer, immediately, what happens? You just clam up, don't you? Because they didn't want to know. They're not interested.
Yeah.
And do you think that listening to yourself as well comes in here? Because we've talked about believing in yourself being the first place to start. And for me, personally, on a journey of growth that I went on, to believe in myself, I needed to listen to what my heart was saying and shut out the things that were not aligned with that and stop thinking that they knew better than me, because the person that knows best who I am and what I can create and what I can achieve It's actually in here. It's just that sometimes we've lost it and we need to find it again. And it sounds like you help people to find who they really are and where they should be going. So
That's
how
exactly.
can people get in touch with you, Craig?
Oh, look, the easy way they can reach out to, we've got an email address that's open for that. So if they can reach out to transform@intrinsicliving.com.au, or we've actually got our website is intrinsictribe.com, and there's actually forms in there where you can reach out to us. That's probably the easiest way. Well, we've got a 16-week program as well, which we'll deal with that one later. That's more of a sales thing. But yeah, they can reach out via our website or via that email address. We're happy for that to be open for any of your tribe to actually come through. It's
I love it.
we're on the socials, we're on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn, we're Twitter, we're on all of them. So we're pretty easy to find. We're called Intrinsic Living.
So if you're watching, and if you're watching us, you're listening to us, and you're thinking that maybe you're not living as who you truly want to be, you're not listening to yourself, you're not following your heart, you don't even know how to, possibly. Maybe there's confusion there. Or maybe, like Craig said, you apparently have everything, or you have everything that other people seem to want, but something's missing. You're waking up in the night and you know that you haven't got everything, that something's not there. Don't stay there, because you don't have to. That's the truth of it. You don't have to stay there. You can reach out and get support. So thank you, Craig, for coming along and sharing that. And I would just encourage people to get in touch with you, get in touch with me. If you want to share your story about success, if you want to tell us what it means to you, or if you want to find your own success, if you want to find a way to achieve it, then I would love to talk to you. Thanks again, Craig.
Thanks, Angela. Appreciate it.